Penetration is one of the most important values in World of Tanks Blitz. Nobody's going to disagree with that, because being able to butter through your enemy's armor makes life a lot easier. And that's why vehicles like the Ho-Ri are so cringe to go up against, because literally any Ho-Ri player, no matter what their skill level, can load premium and turn your armor into literal dust. And today we're playing in a tank that I would say is equal, if not even more dangerous than the Ho-Ri, and that is the WZ-111 GFT. This is a Tier 9 Chinese tactory tank destroyer, and it is by far one of the highest pen tanks, tier for tier, in the game. It features a gun that has 424 millimeters of gold. 424. Bro, that's insane. Now, the DPM on this tank is definitely a bit mediocre at only 2300, but it's accurate and it has fairly good aiming time. And when you pair that with the high alpha of 640, decent top speed and mobility, plus the fact that it gets reticle calibration and sandbags, trust me, this is not a tank that you want to mess with. It literally doesn't matter what tier you're fighting. You can be in a tier 10, your armor is useless. If you're in a tier 8, which this can fight, just go back to the garage. I mean, it's probably going to go right through your turret, out of your tank, penetrate the vehicle behind you. Like, it's crazy. It really is such a fun tank, and this is a vehicle I've always really enjoyed playing, and at certain points more than the 113 GFT. I mean, obviously at this point the 113 GFT is one of the most overpowered tanks in the game, but it wasn't always like that. And previously, I've always put this tank on par, because it really is a super scary tank to go up against. When you have this level of damage per shot, with the fact that you have reticle cali and everything else, this is just an absolute beast. So we arrive in our first game, and speaking of tier 8s, there you go. We're hopefully going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here, but you never know. You never know in this game what's going to happen. And Chinese tanks are quite prone to being ammo racked, so I guess we'll see. But nonetheless, you're going to notice just how enjoyable this tank can be to drive. I also like the way this vehicle looks. It's just kind of like a beefed up SU-152. The 113 GFT, I think we'll all agree, is just a big old Temu box. It's kind of ugly. There's not much really going for it in the looks department at all. But this tank, I actually don't mind the look of. I think that it's not like the prettiest tank, but it's definitely not just flat out ugly. So that's kind of how I would say this vehicle looks. So we're going to activate our reticle cali. However, I aimed a teeny bit low there, so that is on me. I tried to snap the shell as quickly as I could, and we weren't able to get it out. But that shouldn't be too big of a deal, because as we can see, the T-34 is tracked in the open. And there you go, nice 591. Now, if you think that you're seeing, like, frame skipping, you are. I don't know why, but my game's been frame skipping lately, and it's really, really annoying. Alright, so we have the Emil 2 in the open, and, I mean, look at this pen. It doesn't matter what the Emil 2 does. He's getting chunked, and that's a big chunk. Holy 976 damage taken off of his vehicle. That Emil 2 did not stand even the slightest of chances. Alright, well, we're going to reload again, and we're going to see this time if I can shoot the Progetto with... Oh, an HE for 935 in the side of his turret. Well, there you go. Long live the Progetto, I guess. Holy juice, bruh. We absolutely nuked. Okay, now what we can see is that our team's not doing the best of jobs here. I'm really hoping that maybe this Cobra ends up poking. I mean, the Emil, I probably could shoot him, but I'm really focused on this Cobra. And by the way, you can see the good aiming time this vehicle has. It's pretty good. Alright, so what we do see is a Borsig over here, and... oh, we also have the Cobra off to our side, and... ooh, that Cobra is very, very lucky that... okay, maybe he's not lucky. I really thought he wasn't gonna poke us. I was just hoping I could shoot the Borsig, but bro went right into our trap, didn't he now? Alright, well, we got a couple seconds left on our reload. And, you know what, honestly, I'd rather kill the Borsig right now. So let's get him out of the game. There you go. 578 clear. And just like that, all that's left is the Cobra. We're already at 3,300 damage. I mean, this game was bullying. The gun on this tank is really accurate, as I mentioned. And not only is the gun accurate, but the tank has armor. Like, really good armor. which is kind of crazy as well. This Cobra is not a threat at all to me, and the Panzer 58 clears him, so there you go. 4,000 damage victory. Obviously going to finish somewhere top on the team, and not too much of a stressful situation there at all. I mean, that was just the freest game ever. So let's take a look at the post-game results. 4,250 because of the fire we had on the email 2. That places us basically double the next highest on our team. Wow, well, that was a walk in the park. Let's do one more game, see if the WZ can do just as well. Okay, another tier 8 and 9 matchup, and that's fine with me, because I love bullying the tier 8s when I'm in a tier 9. That's like 80% of the fun when you're in tier 9 is that you don't have to constantly fight higher tier, you know? That's the thing that I always love about it. In tier 10, you're always fighting tier 10s, every single game you play. And while there isn't a higher tier than 10, in general, there are a lot of tier 10s that feel like they are higher tier. The FE2 and 5B183, for example, can literally take off half your health in a single shot. And that just doesn't exist down at tier 8. I mean, yeah, you have the Caliban, but the tank is so nuked in every other statistic that it really doesn't feel that bad to go up against. I mean, if the Caliban was a tier 10, I wouldn't care at all. It might get a nuke off once in every 10,000 shots, but in return it's going to get nuked 18 times harder. Oh, there you go, 975. That's what reticle calibration is for, ladies and gents. Say goodbye to the M4190. What an awful path he chose to drive as well. Alright, well, we're going to reload here. As I said, the DPM on this tank is not very good, but it doesn't need good DPM when you have the ability to just do that. 743 off the M6. Not even a slight struggle, and we still had our reticle calibration going, so our aiming time was pretty quick there. Yeah, I just think this is an absolute blast of a tank. I'm gonna be real. Like, this is such a fun vehicle to play in. So we're just gonna chill here and get a nice bonk into the 704. He bounces us, and because of that, now the Progetto can push the 704. He gets 2 shots into his tank, obviously lowering him quite a bit of his overall health. And I don't think he enjoyed that very much. I'm going to be completely real. Alright, so I'm going to chill over here. And I'm going to wait for what is presumably the enemy team to maybe roll around that corner. But interestingly enough, I'm not seeing that happen. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to push up on the ISU. And we're going to see if I can maybe get some damage into him. Full speed. This tank's also fairly quick. It's not like the most mobile tier 9, but it's quick. I mean, you're not going to have to worry about mobility at all in this tank. There you go, 674. We do get hit by the ISU. A really cringe shot, to be honest, the fact that he was able to sneak that shell into our vehicle. But I don't really care. I mean, it's a win. The only 2 tanks left that actually have health are the E75 and Kampfpanzer 70, which I don't even know how long they're going to have health. So we're just going to make our way over to these players. We're going to go wide behind them, kind of like where our 704 is going. I think that's the better play here, and we should be able to get some damage out. So let's go full speed ahead. Come on, come on. Speed, speed, speed. Alright, we'll just activate our reticle calibration at this point. There's no reason not to. And we're going to aim it on the Kampfpanzer. There you go, 597. Well, just like that, we had another pretty solid game. This was a almost 4,000 damage battle. KPZ obviously isn't going to be able to do anything. And there you go. That's the WZ-111 GFT. You'll notice out of the 2 battles we played, I did not need to load a single heat shell. And not only that, but I mean, everything that had armor didn't exist. I mean, the M6, which is normally one of the most heavily armored tier 8s in the game, we went through with AP like it was like a hot knife through butter. And it's crazy. It really is. This tank is an absolute blast. I love playing in the WZ, and you can see why. The gun is incredible. The aiming time and accuracy are great, especially with the fact this thing has frickin' reticle cali. And even though it doesn't feature that much DPM, it doesn't need the DPM, because it has the level of accuracy and everything else that you'd want on a tank destroyer. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the WZ-111 GFT, if you like it, if you don't, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!